In the Elite Eight, Ohio State's a 2 seed and Syracuse is a 1 seed. But nevertheless, Ohio State's been made a solid 3-point favorite over Syracuse. With no Fab Melo, a lot of people were waiting for an early exit by Syracuse, but they've proved to be a very resilient team all year long, and that early exit simply hasn't come yet. They didn't get a cover in their Sweet 16 game against Wisconsin, though, and the market was all over that one, betting Wisconsin down from +5 to +3, and all Wisconsin spread tickets cashing. Ohio State played very close to their spreads in their first 2 games of the tourney, and then they were down by 4 as an 8-point favorite over Cincinnati with 11 minutes to play in the Sweet 16 before going on their torrid run and actually winding up getting an easy cover. So both teams have indications for and against them betting-wise in this game with this spread. Ohio State has awesome talent in their starting lineup, but they don't go deep, which could possibly be a big liability in the Elite Eight. And Syracuse did struggle to get by in 2 of their tourney games so far, with rebounding a big vulnerability. But Syracuse does have a system that works well with their zone defense, and any team that isn't hitting their outside shots over the zone will have a hard time beating them even without Fab Melo. With the total, Ohio State's become a strong undertrender. They've now gone over the total in 9 of their last 10 games going back to the regular season, and that's mostly because their scorers have become more dynamic recently while their reputation as a relatively low-scoring team still lingers. I'd personally be hesitant to bet on another over here, though, with a total at 136. Ohio State, again, will have to shoot over Syracuse's zone defense, and if they struggle with that, the game could have a tough time going over. In general, Syracuse is a modest undertrender, and that's because teams do often have issues with their zone, and their games tend to fall in the mid-130s, which is where this total is. Getting back to the spread, though, it's interesting to note that Ohio State has advanced despite poor play by senior guard William Buford. If Buford does suddenly begin to play well, Ohio State will become that much more dangerous. And this game is one where they're really going to need him more than ever to navigate the Syracuse zone and to hit from the outside. So there's a lot of unknowns with this game in general. The keys will be, first, that Ohio State needs to hit their outside shots, and second, they'll need to keep their star forwards, particularly Jared Sullinger, out of foul trouble since they do play their starting 5 most of the time. Syracuse may have some issues with rebounding, but they do also have great athletes and a great system, and they shot very well in their win over Wisconsin, and just in general, they're a team that survives and wins. So I would personally lean towards Syracuse at +3 and the under at 136. 3 points is a decent cushion considering how resilient and battle-tested Syracuse has proven themselves to be and how many X factors could derail Ohio State. And with Ohio State trying to control the pace of the game and Syracuse's zone likely to be pretty effective, a deliberate pace might make the under at 136 a bit more likely than not. For SBR Forum Videos, I'm Peter Loshak.